NFL record for the worst completion percentage. This is a game you need to win. This is a divisional matchup against a team you should beat. This is how you stack up wins. Hello and welcome back to our Christmas episode of i75Live. It is Monday. It is after all the games on this weekend, the Bears game, the Patriots game. It's all fresh. Normally we record a little bit later in the week, but it is pretty Christmas. Fresh this week. It is Christmas. Dylan's traveling. You can't record and post on Christmas.
Are you going to wave goodbye to your field, seeing that your team's going to move to Illinois, Dylan? What's up with that?
Indiana.
Indiana.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. That was some fun news that apparently they needed to drop the week of the most important game that we've had as Bears fans in the last decade.
It was a good distraction.
Yeah, it was a great distraction. But yeah, I don't know. They're using it as leverage against the city of Chicago. But man, yeah, I'll see y'all in Gary, Indiana in 4 years. Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
No, but yes, Merry Christmas. That is why we are recording this today. The episode will probably be dropped maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. Me and Dylan will decide that. But yes, Merry Christmas. Hope everyone is having a wonderful time of the year, as always. Before we get into today, we got a little bit of MLB, a little bit of college football, and then we're going to go straight into NFL because it was a big week. We had a lot of really good games, including our two teams, and then the Lions game was really good. The Rams-Seahawks game was really good. We'll get into that. And then, of course, like we always do, we'll do some of the Christmas games. Christmas
is kind of...
Let's just say, thank God Stranger Things is coming out on Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not going to be watching football.
So thank God Stranger Things is coming out on Christmas. And then we'll get into our bet of the week like always. But before that, I will let Dylan take over the sponsor, and we will get into all of that.
Sure. So, Merry Christmas, guys. But this episode is sponsored by CutBet. And CutBet is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that allows its users to wager directly with other users on any publicly verifiable result in sports, entertainment, politics, and more. Sign up today using code i75Live and stay tuned later in the show for our CutBet of the week. We're back.
Two game streak now.
We're back on a streak. And that Lions game, I think the line was 52, and I think they went 53.
Yep. It was really close.
Could not have been closer.
Yes.
And it almost went even further up.
Yeah, if it ended the way that some people thought it did. Before we get into NFL, though, and college football, a little touch of MLB news. We've kind of mentioned it, but I don't even want to try to pronounce his name.
Munetaka Murakami.
The really good Japanese player that was coming out he was in the Baseball World Classic. Everyone kind of knows who he was, and everyone was shooing him in to be a Dodger just because that's kind of the route and the theme that
the city loves Japanese players.
Those players have always just gravitated towards, playing with Shohei, playing with Yamamoto. It makes sense.
Closest to where Japan is too.
And everyone kind of thought that, and then all of a sudden it came out. I thought it was fake. I thought it was a fake account when it got sent into our group chat of him going to the White Sox.
Man.
It's cool, I think, for the fact that he's going to your team.
I will be getting a jersey.
I think
I better order it now.
I don't know his argument of going to a team to compete with the Dodgers. He may have thought that the White Sox were the Red Sox, like you said.
Yeah, there might have been a little bit of a language barrier there, and he did think probably that he was going to the Red Sox, but contract is already signed. Too bad. But this guy his nickname is the Japanese Babe Ruth. Like, I think he's 25 years old and he's already one of the most accomplished hitters in Japanese baseball. He's coming off of back-to-back MVPs, and he hit 56 home runs as a 22-year-old in 2022. So welcome. He's a lefty slugger too, which we needed. And yeah, I think maybe he took a look at the White Sox because I was a big advocate they were one of the better teams in baseball after the All-Star break. And they have a lot of young prospects that are going to be called up and already got called up. Colson Montgomery is there. And they just got the first overall pick in the MLB draft. In a loaded draft. So for the first time in a long time, Wait.
Did you just say that Chicago got the first pick?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so is this like all the other times where this just seems rigged? Like Like the Mavs somehow get the first pick. Like
I think the Pope got into the Vatican.
Because that's just
dipped a
funny
White
that
Sox
you hit one of the
jersey in some
biggest
holy
players,
water,
and
dipped a
now
Bears jersey
and now
in
you
some
get the
holy
number
water.
one pick. I don't know. That just seems odd to me.
I think
Nah,
Chicago
I
has a
don't-
Pope now, and nothing should be considered out of the ordinary anymore.
Okay.
I think Chicago sports are back. I think besides the Bulls, which have not, they missed the memo, but everyone else, I think the Blackhawks are up and coming. But I had a fun weekend. Let's just say that. And this was the cherry on top. Because
I thought it was fake.
I was sitting in bed. I saw it. My eyes got all big. I hope it means something.
I thought it was fake.
I hope it means something. And it's, Chicago sports have never been this exciting.
So to go kind of in, that's enough for MLB. You know, that's kind of the only important thing that's happened.
White Sox are back.
The college football, though. So I said this to touch on, I thought it was really funny that the two teams that everyone had, well, the two big teams, obviously everyone had a problem with JMU and Tulane. I'll touch on that. But the two big teams were Alabama and Miami that everyone was up in arms about. Even you. I mean, you were like, Alabama, what are we doing? You know, losing the way they did. I know.
The second half.
I know we said the conference games like don't matter, but they should if it looks like that. The same way BYU. So all that could be true. But it's really funny to me that Alabama and Miami, was it pretty? Hell no. Especially the Miami game. But both the teams that everyone had a problem with won and are moving on.
The committee's just sitting back going.
But you can also now make the argument of, did Oklahoma deserve to be in it?
Oh shit.
Did Texas A&M deserve to be in it with the schedule that they played and then losing to Texas at the end of the year? So again, it all is just up to interpretation again.
Yep.
There's no set in stone of, well, see, if we would have put this team in over Texas A&M, like we should have known that they were frauds because of the schedule they played in SEC, and
nobody knows.
It's a shit show.
Yep.
And we've been saying it for weeks, and you sound like a broken record. But then to go even further on top of that, the Tulane and the JMU, I'm just, I hope this is my goal moving forward for their Cinderella stories and Cinderella runs are never going to happen in football. No. It's just never going to happen.
It's not the NCAA
it's
basketball.
It's the same way in NCAA basketball. It's just completely different. It's never going to happen in football. And we have now seen that for 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And if anything, make a separate tournament for them. Have them play against their competition.
What do you mean? Have the next tier bowl games be for those, like make those bowls relevant by some of those teams that are outside of the 12 and maybe within the 25. Let them
and you have your own separate tournament in the G5 in all that, because it's never going to be fair.
Yeah.
I agree. With the way that college football is, the landscape, we have the Arizona State coach literally coming out and saying, if we want to compete, where's some rich person down in Arizona that can write us a check?
I know someone in Arizona can write a $20 million check.
He literally said that out loud in a press conference. Like, that's real. And that is what's happening in college football.
Welcome to college football. Nobody knows. But I think, the first round is pretty much useless. Like, it really is, outside of, I guess the Oklahoma-Alabama game was great.
Yeah.
That was fun. But outside of that,
everyone knew that was going to be great because of just the SEC versus SEC. They played each other. So that was to be expected. Yep. But the Miami game, I think that game was, it was bad. And it's funny is they put that game at 12 o'clock because they figured that was their best game of the weekend to not compete with the NFL games. And then look what it was. So it's just, and I know you can't control that. And I know that, both defenses were pretty good.
It was really ugly.
But it's just not what you want.
That's not what people want to see.
It's not what you
want to see. They want to see touchdowns.
Absolutely.
When did Oregon pull their starters, though, in that game?
Well, JMU scored a decent amount of points.
James Madison had, they put up 34 points, 500 yards of offense, 0 turnovers.
Yeah. And they still lost by 20 points.
That's how you know it doesn't fucking matter. Like, it genuinely doesn't matter. You can have a team play a flawless game, and they did. And it doesn't matter.
They still got
They're still outmatched. There's no reason for them to be in the playoffs. Yeah, they're never going to make it out of the first round. So yeah, they would have been the Group 5 champ in their tournament.
Yeah. That's your competition.
Yep, it is.
Like that's who you guys should be. I mean, that's who you guys played all year.
Argument could be made they might win the FCS championship this year if they were in the FCS. College football needs a revamp, and it sucks because I think Vanny brought it up the first time he came on the show that it's a legislation, all of this. And so if you want to change anything, especially with NIL, it's got to be done through the court. And we know how useless and just inefficient our court system is. So you can only imagine how long that would take. But I don't expect it to change.
No, I don't either.
Even if it does, I mean, you're still going to get the same teams at the end.
Yeah.
But what really needs to happen is, I think, one, the conferences don't need to be as big, and the conference champions don't need to be having a guaranteed spot. Like the top 5 highest ranked conference champs, you're literally asking a lower end college football team to make it every single year, and I don't think that's good for football. It's not going to be competitive ever.
Well, those really games just won't. And like you said, it doesn't matter how many chances you give and how many. It's at the end of the day, it's going to be Big Ten winner, the SEC winner, and
probably 2 other Big Ten and SEC schools.
And that's what it's going to be. I mean, that's just anyone who says otherwise is either delusional. They are just wanting to root for the small guys so bad because I don't know the reason for it, but it's never going to change, and that's that.
Well, everybody loves a Cinderella story, and you said it. It's different when you have 12 guys or 14 guys on a basketball team. They can go on a run.
Yeah.
But you're talking about 100 guys on a college football team that, I'm sorry, like you are who you are at the end of the season. You're not going to take down an Alabama JMU. It'll never, ever, ever happen.
It just will never happen. And if it does, it will happen one time and
then they'll lose the next round.
You're asking Cinderella, like the Cinderellas of college football, to do this with no feet underneath them. Like, yeah, here, try on this glass slipper, even though you don't have anything to stand on anyways. It's like, you're never going to compete with them. It's just especially now with the money. It's not a shot.
Yeah, it's never going to happen. Yeah. To kind of finish football, though, unfortunately, Montana did lose in the semifinal game against Montana State. I know that was a bit unfortunate.
The second, I just want to say, I have to apologize because the second I turned on that game is when the 87-yard touchdown happened.
Oh, the third and 20?
And then they scored again, and then they scored again.
As soon as that happened too, I looked at Dad. I said, Dad, unfortunately.
I didn't even want to see the celebration at the end. I didn't want to see the Cats celebrate, so we turned it off the last couple of minutes and ended up seeing the score. But they just look. A couple of things are apparent. They need to get bigger on the defensive line. Yeah. The Montana State, even when we loaded the box, ran all.
They had
over
9 people in the box,
and we couldn't stop the
percentage of it was 85% of the snaps. They were daring them to throw the ball.
Oh yeah, and
Montana State was still running the ball, and they were getting 5-6 yards.
Listen, they will definitely win the Natty. It provided no injuries, whatever. They will win the national championship. And I'm not happy about that. I'm not going to root for them. Yes, it's my state, but I don't give a shit. It's the Bobcats. I'm not rooting for them.
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate.
So they haven't won a Natty since the 80s too.
Yeah,
that's right. It's been a long time.
But they've been to like what, 3 or 4?
Yeah, we've seen them play. They've always lost because they've run into NDSU.
Yeah,
damn.
And this was the year to where it was one of those situations where whoever won this game,
you guys just had to go and beat both Dakotas on the same side of the bracket this year.
Oh. So that was a little unfortunate. It sucks because we were maybe going to go because it was in Nashville.
We were 1 quarter away from going to Nashville.
No longer. That is no longer happening. To get into NFL though, like we mentioned, there's about four games that we're going to touch on this week. What a weekend! It was a great slate of games, and it started with the Thursday night game of the Rams and Seahawks. I think one of the craziest games that I have personally seen, of like kind of the ramifications that it had with division, with one seed, with just everything, for it to come down to a 2-point conversion the way it did to win the game.
And then overtime.
And it was also really cool because I had no dog in the fight. I know you kind of did because of the Bears.
I just needed one teams to lose. I just needed there not to be a tie.
Yes. But for me, I had literally no dog in the fight. I had a couple fantasy players, so I was kind of watching. I was a victim of starting Parkinson and getting 4 points. It ultimately didn't matter, though.
No, it didn't.
But I was a victim of that. I know a lot of people were too. But no, this was I mean, the craziest game that I've seen. I think Matthew Stafford, he had like
until Saturday night.
Yeah, there were a lot of great ones. He had Matthew Stafford had almost 500 passing yards. He had like Puka with everything that went on with him. He had like 180 yards with 2 touchdowns.
He had like 220. He was like 10 catches for 225 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, insane. But no, look, the my takeaway from this is I was a little shocked at how high scoring this was and how good these two defenses were, especially coming off a short week.
Yep.
I thought it was going to be very low scoring. It was going to be a classic division, run the ball, maybe 21-17 type game. And then all of a sudden, it was just big play after big play after big play. I still like the Rams, though. There's just something about Sam Darnold that it's just, he always like has me on the edge of my seat to where when Matthew Stafford has it, I'm like, okay, we're good. Like he's going to take care of it. He's not going to do something stupid.
Yeah.
He'll throw it away. He'll run it and we're not going to make mistakes. And that's not how we're going to lose the game. With Sam Darnold, I have no clue if it's going to be an interception or a 50-yard pass down to JSN.
Oh, he started that game seeing ghosts. Like it was bad. And I thought it was over. Like I genuinely thought that game was over.
Oh, everybody was talking about they shut the game off.
It should have been over.
Like one of the I think the
5
Hawks were playing here
day.
locally, so people were kind of watching both games. Otherwise, everybody went to bed.
I had to be up at 5 a.m. the next day, and I was like, okay, yeah, this game's over. And so I got into bed, and then that's when the punt return happened, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I can't turn it off now. And then they got to stop, and then they score again, and then they get a wacky-ass 2-point conversion to tie the game, and I was it's just insane.
That was just getting you
the 2-point conversion play was crazy, and everyone's saying that it was rigged. It was legit.
Well, it was legit, but I'd have to go back and actually watch the play, but apparently they blew that play dead, and we could have had a similar situation to, remember when the Eagles fumbled the tush push against the Giants? Yeah. And they said it wasn't a fumble and like couldn't be advanced or recovered because the play was blown dead, forward progress. I know it's different with a backwards pass and stuff like that, but that play was still, I think, blown dead.
There was a whistle.
And it begs the question. And then after, not only that, but just with everything leading up to the game, with like Puka's comments and all of that, and all of his controversy, and pretty much saying that referees are like these normal people that seriously, they're normal people that want to be on TV too. And you see like at the end of the game with the two refs calling that Cooper Kupp toe line drag catch, that they're like over exaggerating the fuck out of it and just like kicking their leg. And it's like, oh, he had a point. And they I think they heard that too.
When he tweeted that out after the game.
And then he tweets it after the game.
And then deleted it, got in trouble for that too. Man. So
the NFL needs to, I know it's been addressed, and I think this isn't their plans for the future, but they need to start making their referees full-time employees, because they're not. They're like they're not volunteers.
They're lawyers.
But they are.
They're big-time executives.
They have regular jobs that are fans of NFL teams. Like that's not. No, it's crazy that it's gone on this long, and that we're needing players to call them out, and then actually like it was just weird to see the referees almost respond to it. Like it was just so fucking.
That's a
makes me think.
I didn't think about it like that.
Low things about the NFL.
Yeah.
And it's like it clearly is entertainment at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think the money's not an issue.
Well, they did say the money line though on that game. If they would have let that 2-point conversion not happen, the game's over. The money line, it doesn't hit the spread. All the money was like like a lot of money changed hands because of that play. Yeah. And it just, if the play was really blown dead, makes you wonder.
It does. Really does.
I think it was a backwards pass, though.
Oh, it was.
Even if it was blown dead, even if it was.
But when the play's blown dead, it's like over.
But if the play was blown dead and it really was a backwards pass, then that sucks because that's what it should have been. Yep. So do I think it was a little weird that it was blown dead? Yeah. But at the same time, they got it right. Like they officiated it the right way.
Yeah.
Don't let him return a punt.
Except for
don't
the whistle,
let him do some of those. No,
score in overtime.
But you're not understanding what I'm saying. Is if it was truly a backwards pass and they blew it dead, then they officiated the play wrong.
Yes, correct.
So by them officiating the play right and going, hey, we may have blown it dead, but it was a backwards pass. There was a clear recovery in the end zone. That's the right thing to do, and because that's what happened.
Yes, but I would argue clear recovery in the end zone, but they blew the play dead. Yeah. The other players just.
I would need to see the rule book, like what that actually means.
So that's where the gray area comes into play.
2 wrongs don't make it right.
And on an untimed down, it was there. I would need to like actually open up the rule book and see if there even is, something that addresses that kind of scenario. Because I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. That was like a one of a kind.
I've never.
Yeah, we'll get to the Lions game, but I'm pretty sure the Lions game officials said, "Hold my beer" on that game.
Yeah,
they did. That was so.
Before we get into some of the rest of the games, though, I'll let Dylan take over this Bears-Packers game Saturday night. I was very happy that it was on Saturday night for everyone to see.
He just keeps doing it.
Before you go into it, I've been notorious for saying, especially the last Packers game, started so slow. And to me, this game really picked up in the first quarter. They went for it on that fourth down. Should not have.
Should have just ran the ball.
That
not
too.
Snapped it through your tight ends. Like Ben Johnson addressed that, though. That's fine.
The second quarter was a little lackluster. Then the third, fourth, the comeback, it was... To me, I heard someone say that this is a milestone victory.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to the team you are playing, when it comes to just stacking all these wins that you guys have had throughout the year, to just have it not be like, oh, it's a fluke. It just happened one time. It's now happened multiple times.
Yep. They've now broken. They broke the NFL record on Saturday for most comeback victories in the final 2 minutes in a single season. They had 5, and that was tied. Now they have 6. Their 2025 Chicago Bears are officially etched in history. That's pretty cool to say.
The Bears are so much fun to watch. I love Ben Johnson as a coach.
Oh, he's awesome.
I think Caleb is finally starting to, be that quarterback. Why you drafted him at 1 overall a couple years ago. It's fun. It really is. And what's funny though is the NFL fan, like as a whole, they're starting to come around to the Bears.
They absolutely are.
Like everyone's kind of starting to be like, hey, this is a kind of a fun team to watch. Like we don't just get to make fun of them anymore.
Not the same old Bears. This year is different. So with the win, obviously, and the Lions lost, the Bears are playoff bound. And it's honestly not that long of a drought it's been 4 years, which doesn't feel like that long. But that year they made the playoffs was like Nagy's last year or one of his last years, and they limped in. And they lost round 1. No one was, I don't think Bears fans were even excited about that. You'd really have to go back to 2018. And before then it was, 2012. They've made the playoffs meaningfully twice in pretty much my life that I can remember, maybe 3. But this is the best team that I've seen. This is, may not be skill-wise, or at least because of all the injuries that they've still dealt with, but this is, 100, they're a playoff team, I can say that now. But Caleb Williams in the fourth quarter, and just, can't say he's a top 5 quarterback yet, because he's got to win some playoff games in that fourth quarter, but there is a short list of quarterbacks that I would rather have on my team driving them down the field than Caleb in the final, in the final drive, especially after what he's shown me this year. It's unfathomable. But yeah, in this game specifically, let's just read off his stats. In the fourth quarter and overtime, 70.6 adjusted completion percentage. Oh, that was like the one thing that everyone had a problem with him, but apparently it gets better when it matters. The completion percentage, 164 total yards, 2 touchdowns, and 105.9 passer rating. I get that Jordan Love was hurt and they were playing against backups.
Everyone's hurt. Everyone's dealing with stuff.
It's that time of year.
Yeah. Everyone's got stuff. Everyone's hurting in one way or another. And I think Malik Willis played his way into a starting role next year. He's been doing it. He did it earlier this year. He did it last year. The Packers are good at developing players. We've known that. And they've been a great organization for a long time. That's part of the reason that they're one of the golden childs of the NFL for like the last 40 years. They will always be in the Super Bowl talks regardless. And they haven't left the Super Bowl talks. Even with this loss and even with them losing Micah Parsons and Jordan Love to concussion, they still have odds to win the NFC North, even though realistically we win one more game. And I mean, we're NFC North champs. This game I needed. I thought the game was over. I really did. I reverted back to when we were down by 10 with, kicking a field goal. The field goal was too slow to save the 2-minute warning. And so we were at best going to get the ball back with like 45 seconds left.
Yeah.
And then the onside kick happens. And I just sitting there. I had checked out. I had the game on, but I was just kind of like, I was waiting to see the final score. And then I see them scrambling for the ball, and I'm just kind of sitting there like, maybe it's not over. And then
I think you and everyone else watching that game was thinking the same thing.
2 of the best throws I've ever seen Caleb make. And gotta have it moments.
Oh
too.
yeah, the last throw to DJ Moore too.
That 4th down throw
in the red zone for the touchdown.
My God.
And to a rookie, to a guy who's caught, I think that was his second catch of the whole season. Only reason he was playing was because Luther Burton was hurt and Odunze was hurt.
And he already has more touchdown catches than Matthew Golden.
Yeah,
the Packers' first-round wide receiver. Nice job, guys.
I saw that too. And they don't have a first-round pick this year, and they don't have a first-round pick next year.
And now their quarterback's hurt, and their pass. I said it last week. I was kind of early to it. This could be an uphill battle and something that ends up hurting the Packers in the long run a lot. Because I still think obviously the Packers not guaranteed a playoff spot, but I do think they'll probably limp in over the Lions for that final spot. But get me to the playoffs now. I know we've got 2 very important games leading up, but it's for seeding. And I think I'm just looking forward to a playoff game on my birthday. That's what I'm getting again this year. Finally.
Yeah.
Man.
For me being, me, I'm a realist. I keep you, I think, grounded to where there's times to be excited.
Starting to take off a little
but
bit.
I don't blame you. Like, it looks good. You guys are winning games in lots of different ways, running the ball, passing the ball. I mean, Caleb throwing, like the clutch play, like even, we'll get about it with my team with Drake May. It was finally his moment to go 90 yards down the field to put his team in front against a good defense.
Oh yeah, they've been playing great ever since
the Ravens have a great defense. I know Lamar was hurt, and that's a whole different topic of discussion. But the Ravens have an amazing defense right now with their secondary and with their backers.
Oh yeah.
But no, look, the Bears, they're a fun team to watch. Like, it was for the first time in a long time. I was very happy it was on Saturday too, and everyone got to see it, especially with, the shitty college football games that were on at the same time.
Yeah.
They're a fun team to watch. And I think Ben Johnson stems from that. I think just, Caleb and everyone kind of wanting to see him fail with the finger pain and like just everything.
Keep waiting, guys.
It's just, and even his celebration at the end, put his hands in the pocket and just did man. I mean, that was, I'm sorry, but that was cold. For what he did for that throw, I mean, that was, round of applause, well deserved. You deserve to do that.
Imagine Baker Mayfield after, Baker Mayfield's not that calm after that.
But even like that, like Baker Mayfield when he was doing, some of his comebacks and everything like that, like those celebrations were like, do it. Like, look what you just did.
Caleb's being called Iceman in Chicago now, and he's earning that nickname.
And let me tell you.
Oh, that's such a hard nickname, too. That's Iceman.
The cheese grater helmets of him.
And DJ Moore.
But it was, no. It wasn't after the game, though. It was the day him after. Passing out food to people for Christmas and just casually just wearing a cheese, like, around everyone. Like that.
Cheese
or a moment right there.
I love it.
No, I think it was great. I love watching the Bears this year. Not only for you, I just think they're a fun team to watch right now. The same way the Lions were when they had Ben Johnson. It's kind of the same. It's just shifted.
Is it too early to say see you in Santa Clara, Dawson?
I don't know.
Will we
does this mean we don't get the life cycle of a Bears fan video this year? I literally
came in saying that we don't have to make a life cycle of the Bears fan this year.
Nope.
There's no point for it.
Well, we'll have the life cycle of the new Bears fan.
Stay on this high.
Like even if this season, even if I think you go to the playoffs and you lose your first game,
I'm happy.
I still think it's a
don't care.
success.
Yep.
I seriously do.
I'm
and I
bummed
know
out,
in the
but-
moment that would suck because it's like, fuck, it was such a good season.
Just as long as it's not another double doink.
Yeah.
If it doesn't end in tragedy, I'm fine. If we just lose the game and it's like, oh, they didn't come back on the final drive this time, I'm like, okay. We let's see who we draft. Let's see who we round out the D line with next year.
I agree.
But we've got a lot to build on.
And I'll say
just
the same
don't
about
end in
my
tragedy.
team. Yes.
Please don't break my heart.
To go
I'm
on,
fine with a loss.
To go on to my team, because I have the same way. Look, the Patriots beat the Ravens last night. I know Lamar was hurt.
Never apologize for a win. In this
Lamar doesn't play
it's
defense.
It's a whole nother topic of discussion with Lamar and what.
That was a back injury too. Oh god, it sucks
But
for
even
him,
that
man.
though, it just feels like
Sucks.
something happens, and it's immediately just like, I'm gonna think about myself. I'm not gonna try to like he. It's just really weird the way he goes about it, and just the way that all the practices he missed because he's sick, and just everything. It just is really, really weird to me that you're a starting quarterback, you're an MVP, you're all these things that everyone, and then you just kind of. Something happens and you immediately tap yourself out, and there's no.
Yeah.
I just it seems really weird to me, and it seems like he was checked out because of the season they've had when they still had a chance.
Well, I think it was very deflating because that Pittsburgh game happened right before. That Pittsburgh game lasted until almost 8:00.
Yeah, it did.
Like they were probably they were done warming up on the field and went back to the locker room and had that game on.
I think they showed
And then they
a
see
clip
Pittsburgh
in the
win.
stadium of they were like playing it as warm-ups were happening.
That's
in
a
some
gut
of the,
punch.
Yeah,
That's a massive gut punch.
and even that though, I just. But enough about
They
them.
didn't respond the right way, I don't think.
I don't want to talk about them because it doesn't matter. I'm going to talk about my
This is
team.
a Patriots storyline.
All the injuries, all the O-line injuries,
Don't matter.
all the
Travion
linebackers,
going down, too.
Travion going down, D-line, they ran the ball all over us. And that's a whole
did.
nother topic too of after Derrick Henry scored the touchdown for them to go up 24 to, we were down by 10.
They
It was
forgot he
24-13.
existed.
They forgot he existed.
He never
That's
touched
always-
the
The
ball
next
again.
drive they came out, I looked at Haley, I said, why is Derrick Henry not on the field
You
right now?
remember that's why I picked the Patriots last week because they're not consistent, and it's like they shoot themselves in the foot with like anytime he's out on the field, they don't have him enough for teams to be guessing what they're gonna do. It's like if Derrick Henry's out there, he's getting the ball. And it's like they didn't have him out there, so you were like, "Oh, okay, they're going to be passing."
And he was gashing us like 5.
And he was late in the game too, but it was too late.
And then-
You all had already come back.
Like they had the ball back up by 7 after we scored and it was like, okay, I would assume they're going to try to just run the clock out here and do what they've kind of done all. And then he wasn't in the game.
You would think,
he was
right?
standing on the sidelines just with his coat on, and I was like,
It's so-
okay,
It's
like,
so strange to me.
But this is my thing too because I noticed it with Isaiah Likely, I noticed it with Zay Flowers, and I noticed it with Mark Andrews. It feels like the Baltimore Ravens are like the only team in the NFL that punish their players for either fumbling or it doesn't matter how big they
That's
are.
true.
Like Isaiah Likely fumbled the ball, against it wasn't the touchdown, and
Yeah,
then
against
against
the
the Steelers, and then it was the Bengals
He
to
doesn't
where
have
he
a single
fumbled.
catch.
Doesn't have a single catch
Yeah.
after that happened. Mark Andrews, when all this stuff kind of happened with him,
That's
all
true.
of a sudden they forget he's on the team. Same thing with Derrick Henry. He fumbles, God forbid, one time in the game, and then he's not in for the next 2 drives.
Yeah,
like it seems such like a. I'm
They play
superior
scared.
to
They play
you.
scared.
That too. They
They
play
play
not to
very
lose.
scared, yeah.
I'm superior to you. I'm the coach, and I'm punishing you because
think,
you didn't do what you should be doing. So we're going to punish you no matter how good you are.
I think it speaks to the coach's confidence. I think they play not to lose. They play scared, and that results in when your players make mistakes, you're gonna try just inherently to get away from them. So you're like, oh, I can't afford another mistake. I'm gonna see if someone else can bail me out. And yeah, that's not winning football. That's not a winning recipe. It's no wonder that they haven't made a Super Bowl yet with this incredible team they've had for the last 7 years, really. But this is a Patriots storyline. The Patriots also clinched with that win.
Patriots
they are now playoff
clinched.
bound.
We also we still could get the 1 seed because I know
we can too.
We got to win out. We play the Jets and the Dolphins.
You need one
very
Broncos
very
loss.
doable. The Broncos play the Chargers last game of the season. So I would love for the Chargers to beat the Broncos. I believe it is in.
Well, the Chargers might be fighting for their playoff lives too.
So it works out for us. So we just got to take care of business, even with all the injuries, with all the everything. Beat the Jets, beat the Dolphins. We wrap up the division, and if we take care of that, we put ourselves in a. Let me tell you, that bye would be awesome for all the injuries that we have, just to get healthy on the O line, on the D line. Our linebackers, and now, Henderson.
I want the same thing. And it's we're very similar. I think we need Seattle to lose one game, and they play at Carolina this next week, and then they're at San Francisco last week this season.
Francisco,
They already clinched, unfortunately, San Francisco, but they still might want to play for seeding.
Yeah.
And so, we just need to win out. We play Sunday Night Football against San Fran next week, and then we have Detroit at home. So it's possible, but Detroit, again, is going to be fighting. Like, they're clawing to get in the playoffs. And even then, they still need the Packers to lose out. But speaking on the Broncos, I think they got punched in the mouth yesterday. And I'm so happy because I don't like Sean Payton, like, at all. And I think Sean Payton's comments about Jacksonville being calling them a small market team anyways, as if you're alluding to the fact that that's why they can't compete. I'm so glad they beat you by 2 touchdowns. You deserved that. 100%. And I think the Jaguars deserve to be talked about as a Super Bowl threat after that game. Seriously.
Well, when Trevor's playing the way he is, and he's not making mistakes, what was the stat he has?
Trevor Lawrence, I think it's the last 4 games, so like the last month of football, maybe even 3, he's got 14 touchdowns, 0 turnovers.
And that's always been his knock, is he either does really good and throws for 3 touchdown passes, or he throws for 3 interceptions.
Well, they've scored 25 plus in every game since week 8. And they've had some tough games. Like, the Jags have not had an easy schedule.
No, I completely agree.
They're whooping teams.
I think it also all stems from the coach. The coach is bringing that attitude of, embracing, we're a small market team, even though he probably knows that's not true, but embrace it. And if that's what the narrative that people are going to give you, use it to your advantage. Who gives a shit? And that's what good coaches do, is they use all of that, everything they can to motivate their players.
How are there any small market teams in the NFL?
There's not.
Seriously.
There's really not.
That game was in Denver, and they crushed them.
Yeah.
And I mean, crushed them. And it's, the AFC's wide open this year, so why not the Jaguars is what I'm thinking.
I completely agree.
That would be crazy.
Now, their defense has still not, I would say.
They're playing better, though.
They are playing better, but it's still nothing just like crazy. No. Like, they're giving up points, they're giving up yards.
They're just playing together as a unit, it seems like. Like, they're playing off of each other, and it seems like no one is, off page or off script. Everyone is focused on the same thing on defense and on offense.
It reminds me a lot of the Patriots team, especially on defense. What
do we all have in common? With Liam Cohen, Mike Vrabel, and Ben Johnson are going to be. I mean, who wins Coach of the Year?
I was just about to say that.
Who the hell wins?
So this year has been very competitive for that.
You got a 3-way tie for Coach of the Year.
I don't know who you give it to.
I don't know
because all this stuff is voted on before the playoffs start too.
Yeah, I have no clue.
I have no idea who I would vote for. Like, selfishly, would it be cool that if the Patriots won it? But at the same time,
But you know what, though?
I don't know.
It'll probably
so
be. I think the Bears have the advantage because, remember, Vrabel, they expected him to do
all
this.
The wins.
Vrabel was expected to do this.
Vrabel has done this before. He's the only one that's been a head coach before.
That's
He's
fair.
been in the playoffs. He's been to an AFC championship game.
Fair.
So maybe that hurts him.
Or maybe that's why you give it to him.
When you're looking at Ben Johnson, I mean, that too. But when you're looking at Ben and Liam, it's like they're both doing really similar things. I think, obviously I'm biased, but I think Ben gets the edge just because of the fashion in which they've won so much of these games. And it's like, starting off the season 0-2 and then winning 10 of your last 11 games or something like that. Or 10 of your last 12.
And didn't Denver, weren't they on like a 10 game?
Denver was on
11. A nice little win streak.
Yeah,
10 or 11 games.
They
and then
started
they got
0-2 as well. So like Sean Payton is also a Coach of the Year candidate, in my opinion. He's got the best roster. And I think people expected Denver to be good anyways. But
because of what they did last year. I mean, they were in the playoffs last year. So
I think the Bears and the Jaguars, I do think realistically it comes down to either Ben Johnson or Liam Cohen. But Vrabel is still going to get votes. Like, this is ridiculous.
Some great hires, great futures for.
And then the Raiders are just down here giving Pete Carroll another shot for some reason.
Well, now you have Atlanta Falcons too, are looking at what they've done in Denver with all this cap money with Russell Wilson.
The Falcons,
because the Falcons are going to have to do something very similar to that.
Well, the Falcons interviewed. The Falcons interviewed. I don't think they interviewed Liam Cohn because obviously Raheem was their head coach already. But they interviewed Mike McDonald, the Seahawks head coach. They interviewed Vrabel. They interviewed Ben Johnson.
But does it come down to? I mean, like you can but just because these coaches interviewed, I mean, you're telling me that Vrabel, Ben Johnson, like I think Ben Johnson knew where he wanted to go. Like I think it was a done deal to go to Chicago. He wanted to go to Chicago. He knew they wanted.
But you have to take the interviews.
But you have to take the interviews.
Yeah,
Same thing with Vrabel. If anyone's out, I mean, Vrabel wasn't going to the fucking Falcons. Vrabel wanted one team, and it was the Patriots.
His alma mater.
So, the two things can be true. Is I think these teams, of course, they're going to do their due diligence and interview. But when it comes down to it, both parties have to say yes. Mm-hmm. And I think when you look at the Falcons, there were just way more question marks, way more concern than it was, I think, with the Bears, than it was with the Patriots, than even with Jacksonville. I mean, there were a couple of question marks with Jacksonville with the defense.
Their roster, on paper, it wasn't the best in the world. They've got players, but Jacksonville, that's why I think Liam Cohen just gets such a, like, he's going to be propped up because I think the Bears had a very good roster through and through. I mean, they had not many holes, but the Jaguars, it's just, holy shit. Like, just not a team that I saw coming at all. No. And I'm sure people are feeling similar about Chicago, but the Jaguars are just...
Well, I think Chicago out of all of them, had 100% the best roster. No questions asked.
Oh, I agree.
But even that, though, especially I think the Bears knew what they wanted, and Ben Johnson knew what he wanted. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Vrabel, same thing with some of these other guys. And I think the Falcons, there was too many question marks towards... I just don't know what I'm going to get, especially from the GM perspective and just all of it that went in. Even like the Jets.
If the Falcons are smart at all, they will be cleaning house this season.
Oh, 100%.
Holy shit! Like it worked. The defense is good now. Like you've got players. You can build on that. You've got the draft picks outside of. I know. I would trade off. Quite honestly, I know they don't have a first round pick next year, and it's going to be a high pick. But you got your two pass rushers of the future. Last draft. And it's not a good pass rush draft this year. So I think, fine. Give the Rams your, first round pick. You've still got seconds and thirds, and you've got the offensive playmakers too. You had a lot of injuries on the O-line too that, will be back healthy. I think Caleb McGarry missed a lot of time. And it's, Jake Matthews too, I believe as well.
Well, What's going to be really funny is I also think Kyle Pitts has put the Falcons in a really tough spot.
I think they're going to tag him. Who else are you going to tag on the Falcons? Quite on, like no one really. So I do think if you don't want to sign him to a long-term deal, and he's shown because he's going to be good.
Look, if you're either going to sign, if it came down to you're either signing Bijan, Drake London, or Kyle Pitts. I'm doing Drake London and Bijan all day, and I'm letting Kyle walk.
Well, so the good thing is Drake and Bijan both have, obviously they still have their fifth-year options left, but they still have 1 year deal left, 1 or 2 years deal left on their rookie contract.
Bijan is going to ask for a bag.
Bijan's going to be a top 3 running back, highest paid.
He should.
Drake London could make, if he stays healthier, could also make that argument.
If I was Bijan, I would not play next year until I got a contract. That's me. Drake London's a little bit different story because he's, I think, to me, in a little bit of a prove-it year with all the injuries he's had.
Yeah.
But if I'm Bijan, I'm doing what Saquon did. I'm doing, look.
If I'm the Falcons, I'm getting ahead of the curve anyways. I'm extending Bijan before it costs me even more. I'm not going to pull a Bengals.
Yes.
Because you've seen what happens when you wait to pay your star players and they end up continuing to be star players. Yes. You turn into the Cincinnati Bengals. But... that was, I guess we could touch on the Lions game a little bit. We did already, but Chris, were you watching that Lions game?
The ending of it with Jared Goff?
I did see the ending.
Oh my God.
Goff is, he's the man for doing what he did.
I love Jared Goff. I wish that, I know that it meant that we wouldn't have clinched the playoffs if that Lions play counted, but oh my God. Like, watching Jared Goff lay out.
You remember
that,
also
it was really funny.
Oh my
Remember
god!
the high school football championship that happened a few weeks ago somewhere where a kid did that and tossed it and they ended up winning the game because of that. Almost the same play.
God.
I don't know if they'd seen that play and they were mimicking it, but
Just
I don't know
awesome.
how they even thought the heads up play forgot to even do that.
Just so awesome.
When it happened live, I was like,
Oh my God.
holy crap.
What just happened?
They did that. I also don't think that it was offensive pass interference. I think
I just think
Jalen
Amon-Ra-
Ramsey sold it really well.
He definitely did, but Amon-Ra didn't have to run right up to Ramsey and do that.
Yes.
It's his arm extension.
He
of it.
made
Yes.
it really easy for Ramsey to sell.
Yes.
I just, because there's a better chance that you get defensive pass interference called. You're stopping at the goal line. They're going to be playing a lot. I mean, that's the game on the line. They're going to try and get there at the same time as the ball. You didn't do yourself any favors. And I think Jared Goff laying out for that, just
It was awesome.
extend that man again.
It was awesome.
I don't care. Give him another.
And, that's another team,
contract,
too.
man.
Just before last little thing, they have been absolutely obliterated.
It just keeps
with
happening to them, dude.
injuries.
Because
the past 2 years, it's been so bad.
of all the teams in our division, I've never hated the Lions. They've been like us. You have never had any reason to fear the Lions. And they're a team that you can feel good about being good because I love their head coach still. And it sucks. It sucks for them. It really does.
So many
Because
injuries.
Them outside of maybe most NFL franchises, they deserve some good success to be happy about. And yeah, arguably it's not their fault again.
And his quote, his classic last thing I'll say of when they lost to the 49ers in the NFC Championship
Yeah, that
game,
might have
of
been our
when
only
he
shot.
said that might have been our only shot.
Life comes at you fast in the NFL. It really
It
does.
It really does.
That's why I'm hoping the Bears don't end in heartbreak because you can't take any year for granted ever. It's very true. But
that'll wrap up.
onto a Christmas special, 4th and long.
Oh, here we go.
We got our,
Fourth and goal.
got our
Fourth
nice
down
little
and
segment
20.
going.
Fourth and 21.
What do
Not
you
the
got
way you
for
want
us
to
this week,
try to
Chris?
extend it.
So I want to stick to this subject of coaches. And this is a serious question. Should John Harbaugh be fired after this season?
Yes.
And here's why.
John Harbaugh.
He has a 2-time MVP quarterback, arguably the best roster in the NFL. He's been to the AFC Championship one time, lost. What the hell did he do last night? There's a lot of people saying this should be it for John Harbaugh. Whatever he's doing is not working. You got to go.
Well, I think it gets said a lot that the teams normally resemble the mentality and the mindset of the head coach. And we just got done talking about how, they play scared. And you can kind of tell that, when players make mistakes, they're getting taken out for 2 drives and they're, playing not to lose. They're passing the ball arguably when they should be running the ball. And it's just, Harbaugh's got to go. He's the common denominator in all of this. And it's never changed. And it's just, I don't know what it is, but
I think when you look at it, you go, because I'll be the first one to say they've had the best roster on paper, I think, as
for a
whole,
long time.
For quite a
You
few
said it.
years
We
now.
could go back to the beginning of this year. And you were saying it before week 1 even, that the Ravens
100%,
were-
especially their defense. And their defense was fully healthy last night with Roquan Smith, with Hamilton, with the Malachi Starks, the safety
Gilman,
they drafted, even Humphrey. Their
Drake
defense
may pass for 380.
Their defense is very good. Drake may put up 380 and all touchdown. We didn't run the ball the best, but our offensive line gave them a ton of time. We were winning one-on-one matchups. But to go onto the question, there's just no reason. When you're memed of, everyone's seen it. There's I think a 10-game meme of the Ravens lost all of these games as they were winning in even at the beginning of this year.
The Bills game.
Yeah. At the beginning of the year.
They were up by
week 1 or week 2?
By a lot. No, it was the opening. I think it was the Sunday night game.
Yeah, it was. You're
Sunday
right.
night.
And they lost that game because Derrick Henry fumbled and then it just
But you guys, though, you touched on it, though, earlier when you talked about the fact this isn't college.
No.
You don't penalize your entire team because one guy screwed up one time. You go back to that. It's the NFL. And I almost feel like the Harbaugh brothers need to be back in college.
I would say
Jim's been doing
Jim's
fine,
been
I
doing
guess.
pretty. They've built a pretty nice team over there.
They're just really hurt again.
Yeah, they're hurt. But no, it's just very strange. Like Isaiah Likely getting punished after what he did and literally not having
in game,
like a single target, I feel like the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Andrews, when all that stuff happened last year, he like got punished, and
they play scared.
it just is really, really weird. It's just weird. And I don't understand the thought process. I don't understand it just doesn't make sense to me when you have the team that you have and the talent.
Well, and a lot of Ravens fans are mad because, I mean, everyone knew for the most part, Baltimore fans I'm speaking of, knew what they had in Mike McDonald, and they just let him walk. When a lot of people thought he should have been promoted, and because he was their DC, and they should have just let Harbaugh go and retire, or try and start somewhere else.
And look what he's doing now.
Yeah, look at what the Seahawks are doing.
Yeah,
it's just it sucks. It really does, and this is what you get for hanging on to people too long. Sometimes I think you're witnessing it with the Steelers. Like the Steelers, Tomlin has once again done enough to warrant not parting ways. And the same could be said about the Dolphins, quite honestly.
Well, yeah, but
McDaniel's doing just
I
fine.
didn't want to go there today, but I have a question about that. When should you judge a coach? Should it be the last 4 or 5 games of the season when you're out? Or should it be earlier in the season when you're still in it and you're not performing? Like, why are you giving coaches a pass just because they go out and win 4 out of their last 5 games when nobody gives a shit anyway?
Yeah, it's true.
Well, to go on to that, I think a good example of that is the Steelers. And I think the Steelers are so fucking boring to watch. And the only reason they did as good as they did is because the Lions secondary, you got practice squad players playing out there for the Lions right now. So Aaron Rodgers, I hope you can make your players.
Didn't even that Kenneth Gainwell catch.
Oh yeah, I mean
they needed a miracle catch.
Yes.
So it's
I completely. I mean, your leading receiver on your team right now is Kenneth Gainwell. So they just reek. They reek a one and done, smelling first round exit in the playoffs. And you could say that. Oh, you're saying that because you're a Patriots fan. If we are, great, cool. But look who we have at quarterback. He's 22 years old. Mm-hmm. You have 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers, who every time he makes a mistake, he blames someone else, and his body language is just terrible. Mm-hmm. And yes, multiple things can be true, but they are so fucking boring to watch. Mike Tomlin did just enough, like you said, to just not have a losing season again. Mm-hmm. It's mediocrity. And it's never going to change until I think you finally.
I said it last year. I said it last year. The Steelers are in the worst position that you can be in sports. It's like you're always good enough to get there, to be in the postseason,
to lose in the first round.
But you are always the worst team there.
Well, I mean, let's just play a quick little game. Let's just run down the team. Like, I think they lose to the Broncos. I think they 100% lose to the Patriots again. The only reason we didn't beat them earlier in the season because we had 3 turnovers in the red zone, and we lost by a field goal.
The Jaguars, I think the
Jaguars beat them. Buffalo beats them because their run defense is terrible, and that's all Buffalo can do is run the ball.
Although Buffalo did lose to them.
They did, but in the playoff scenario, I'm taking Buffalo 100% of the time. Who else? I think Houston, with the defense that they have. Houston beats them 100%. So
they would even lose to the Chiefs right now.
I don't know about that. I don't know
about that, but I think the Colts would have a good chance against them.
Just because of how good they can run the ball.
Yeah.
So there's not a single team that I would go into it confidently in a playoff situation where I would go, yeah, I feel good with the Steelers being able to really compete with that.
Nope.
I just don't.
No, I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay, next one here. So, Dylan, what do you think is the most likely scenario for you to get that 1 seed? You have to win out. That means you beat the 49ers and you beat the Lions.
Yep.
That also means, though, the Seahawks either have to lose to the Panthers or lose to the 49ers. So that would mean the 49ers might have to lose twice.
It's true.
In the next, do you see that happening? Do you see the scenario playing out? Do you see yourself as a 1 seed? Or is it more likely you're going to fall to the 3 seed?
I think it's more likely that we probably stay in the 2 seed, quite honestly, because I do think if we win both games, we just stay as the 2 seed. But Seattle, let me just remind you guys that the 2 times that Carolina has played a 1 seed, it has been at their house and they have won both games. So
this is true.
All I'm saying is it's not the craziest thing in the world to think that Carolina could go and beat. I still have confidence in the Seahawks, But like we said earlier, Sam Darnold, I don't trust him completely.
Well,
And
especially
the
after
Panthers have a good defense.
especially after a game they just had. It could be very easy to get very big-headed, a crazy game like that against a division. Oh, we've got the 1 seed locked up. We've got this locked up. And then all of a sudden you get punched in the mouth in Carolina like the Rams did and some of the other teams have.
Yeah.
So it's not, like you said, it's not the craziest.
Let me just say they're traveling cross country as well. Seattle is a very, very, very long ways from North Carolina. It's
Yes, it
a
is.
very long flight. And fatigue does happen. This is week 17 of the NFL season. And so if it happens, I have to imagine that Ben Johnson is preparing this team to want home field advantage. No team is going to want to come through Chicago. I mean, y'all heard the stadium on Saturday night, and it's that overtime. You couldn't hear anything. It erupts with any given moment. And so I do think it's more likely for us to fall into the 1 seed. I don't see us losing on Sunday. I hope we don't lose on Sunday, but it's just, why take your foot off the gas pedal? I think unless it's week 18 and you genuinely, like, Seattle hasn't lost, they didn't lose this Sunday. And, obviously they're playing San Francisco and none of those games are scheduled. So it could be a situation where you actually have, that game before the Bears play. And the Bears will know if they even have a shot at the 1 seed. And if they don't, they're probably just going to let Detroit win. They're going to rest their starters. And ironically, Green Bay gets left out of the playoffs. They'd have to lose to the Ravens next week for that to be possible, but that is also a scenario.
The final week, the Bears resting players. How about that? So, okay, last thing, and then we'll move on here. So, Christmas Day, the NBA's always owned Christmas Day. The NFL steps in a couple of years ago, right? They come in and they're like, hold my beer. Like, we're going to start having NFL games on Christmas. And it's clearly, they've outperformed the NBA. Now, is this almost like karma? Because they've got the worst slate. The Chiefs, the Broncos, the Commanders and the Cowboys, the Lions and the Vikings.
Literally none of these games matter.
The real question is this, though. So is the NFL, here's my question, is the NFL still going, and this is Amazon against Netflix too.
That's true.
So is the NFL going to still get more viewers than the NBA,
Yes.
even with 3 crappy games?
Yes.
Yeah, they will.
Yes.
They will, because NFL is a better background picture than the NBA is. But I would say the NBA hasn't been
And
terrible,
people will
but-
still watch these games for fantasy reasons.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's the fantasy
For all the people
championship.
who are in the championship,
Dawson.
Oh, because
I'm
of
one
this
of them.
week. You're right.
yeah, people are going to watch
Dawson's
these
going to
games.
be waking up and watching that 1 o'clock
Look,
game because he's got George Pickens.
All I'm going to say is I
Dak
hope
Prescott.
my birthday is this Sunday, is NFL Sunday. It'd be no greater birthday present than to win the fantasy championship
Wouldn't that be cool?
on my birthday.
Yep. I think you're playing Austin.
How much cash
I
is
am
that?
playing
Playing
Austin.
Gunny.
Is that a decent
That's
amount
our
of cash?
$50 buy-in league. So it's
So-
about a $500. Depending,
Sounds about right.
Winner take
Depending
all,
on how
500.
we kind of did, like I can't remember exactly what we did of like second place and third place. I know we did something, but it's a decent amount for fantasy
good
football.
amount.
It's a decent amount, but I am in the championship, so I'm looking forward to that. No, look, I think NFL's king. Nothing's going to change
Right.
it. People are going to watch it.
I think
Like
they
you
made a
said,
mistake
fantasy.
trying to make Christmas the Chiefs' holiday, like how Thanksgiving is the Lions and the Cowboys. I'm so glad.
Bunch
that
of backup quarterbacks, too.
Oh, it's
you know,
bad. Yeah, it's bad. But you
It's
know what?
bad.
Screw it. Fancy.
Yeah,
there you
that's
go.
that's why people are going to watch it.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, that's all I got.
All right. Wonderful.
So
Wonderful
to kind
Christmas.
of like we kind of went on it. We'll go through these games really, really fast, just because.
Yeah, we already talked about.
We've
all
already
these.
kind of talked about a ton of them. But Seahawks Panthers, we kind of mentioned that going to be a great game. You never know what's going to happen, especially in Charlotte with what the Panthers have done with 1 seeds
said-
coming in.
Yeah.
Who knows?
They've already done it twice this year, and I need it to happen again. I've rooted for the Panthers already. They beat the Rams when I needed
did.
them to.
You did.
They beat the Packers when I needed them to. Just do it one more time,
did.
guys, please. And we promise to be on the other side of the bracket from you guys in the playoffs. We won't beat you, okay? Someone else will.
Next one, I think that's interesting. Eagles Bills. This one has for the Bills if they lose this.
These are two teams. I mean, I know the Bills won last week, but one, they can't afford to. Y'all have already clinched the playoffs, but the Bills need to win out.
Yeah.
If they want to even have a shot at winning the division with you guys.
Well, we just have to win one more and we
Yeah.
lock up the division. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the Eagles, I mean, another team, they won, but these two teams have a lot to figure out before the postseason. And so it's a little ironic that they're playing each other in week 17.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a good game, I think.
I agree. To wrap up the Christmas games, we got 3 Cowboys Commanders.
Yeah, the pick'ems.
Shit
Can we do
show,
who cares on all these?
We can.
so
I'm going to take the
bad.
Cowboys.
So bad.
Commanders are it's a joke. I think the Cowboys could go into this.
Like we said, we will be watching Stranger Things.
Are the
when these
Cowboys
games
are eliminated from the playoffs, right?
They are.
Again,
Yeah,
which
they
is
are.
what
For how many
scares
years?
me because I have Dak Prescott, George Pickens, and Ferguson on my championship team.
Yeah, but it's Christmas, though.
I don't know what George Pickens I'm going to get. I'm either going to get the 25-point George Pickens last week, or I'm going to get the I don't give a fuck George Pickens. I'm going to catch one ball when I need you the most. Like my Batman signal of George Pickens is flashing.
Stunt on
Please.
these.
But no, yeah. So that one, I'll take the Cowboys over the Commanders.
Cowboys, too.
Lions, Vikings. I'll take the Lions just because they have the better offense. I know the Vikings have a good defense, but I just do not trust
Well, the Lions are fighting for their playoff lives.
that too.
The Vikings don't have anything to play for.
That too. So I'll take the Lions for this one.
Me too.
Broncos, Chiefs. Don't really give a shit. I'll take the
You
Broncos.
got Oladapoon starting for the Chiefs.
It looked
quarterback.
so bad.
I bet.
It looked so bad. For the little bit that I watched of that game,
Oh, I stayed away. I stayed far away.
let me tell you, it
from
was
that
the first
game.
time on Red Zone or anything that they barely showed the Chiefs.
Oh, I wonder if Taylor Swift was at that game.
I don't think so.
I don't think
Nashville, Music
You think-
City.
I've heard she's broken off the engagement because of how poorly he's played.
I got the Broncos in this one. I don't
Yep,
see
me
it
too.
being very competitive.
The Broncos just got punched in the mouth, and the Chiefs are going to get the sour end of it.
Next one, this is Saturday night, Ravens Packers.
Ravens, baby.
I'm-
baby girl, please.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens just because I like the I still think their defense is very good. I know Josh Jacobs is hurt. If Jordan Love doesn't play, that really puts him behind the 8 ball. The receivers, to me, just aren't very good for that secondary that the Ravens had. I thought the same thing with the Patriots and then all of a sudden Stephon Diggs does what he does. So who knows?
And with the national media talking about firing John Harbaugh,
Oh, yeah.
now they're like he's
That
going to come out
maybe.
and want to kick butt in that game.
Maybe. So, but for that, I will be taking the Ravens Saturday night.
I'm taking the Ravens too, but yeah, it's something, kind of similar reasons, but a little bit different. Obviously the Micah Parsons thing, just they can't they can't stop the run. And if the Ravens just finally commit to the run game for one single game, they'll win. I think Lamar has to play. That back injury is scary, but Tyler Huntley isn't bad.
He wasn't terrible.
No, and he lit us up when they played us. They were one of the teams that beat us this year. And yeah, I just think Jordan Love, we don't know how bad that concussion was. Seriously. And obviously it's Monday. We're filming early this week, so we don't know. It was a bad hit. Like he ducked into that hit. He got hit square in the face.
Everyone's saying it was dirty. I completely disagree with you.
I think Austin Booker was just trying to get to him as
head
fast as
up.
possible.
It's not like
No.
he did hit him with the crown of it.
It was getting. It definitely still could have been roughing the passer because yes, he did end up hitting with his head, but it would have been right here.
Yeah.
And Love just ducked right into it. It was such a bad.
He had his
injury.
eyes up. He had his head. It's not like he was.
Just
I agree.
Bad injury, and give me the Ravens, and I need the win. I need them to win. So
Sunday night
please.
football, Bears, 49ers. This is a tricky one.
Both teams have clinched the playoffs now.
They
so this
have.
is a seeding
This is
game
just
for
seeding
both.
stuff. I'm gonna go with the Bears though. I believe in the Bears. I think it's not gonna be cold. Over in Santa Clara where the 49ers play. So it will be a nice game.
Niners are really injured.
They
still.
are. I think the run game could really benefit the Bears here on this one. So I will take the Bears.
You keep McCaffrey in check. I do think that you win this game because this is probably going to be a game similar to the Eagles where we just dominate the time of possession because we know how explosive they can be on offense and just not give them many chances. And so I'm going to take the Bears too, obviously, but they're fighting for the division. We can't afford to lose.
Yeah.
If we win this week and the Packers lose, we're celebrating the NFC North after that Sunday night game. And I want it. I'm going to manifest that. So give it to me.
There you go.
Last one, Monday night. I think this is when the Falcons finally decide that they need to fire their coach.
You think so?
I think so. I think the Rams are going to come in, they're going to be pissed, and they're going to dominate them in every fashion they can because
True.
they're
on 10-day rest too. Let's think about that as well.
And the Falcons have it's been a fun little 2 games of them winning games, not playing
It's been
against
the Kyle Pitts coming out party the last month.
I think this is where the Rams fully solidify that the Falcons are gonna fire their GM and their head coach.
I agree. I do think
So I'm
the
going with
Rams. The Rams might win this game by 30.
I see.
I think the Falcons need to. They need to lose a game very bad before the end of the year because you have to. You do not want to be in a Miami situation. Because Miami, we saw this news. We haven't talked about it on the podcast, but we're all very aware that Miami.
We're manifesting that it's not real.
Hopefully
news.
that was just fake. Hopefully that was fake because
they're going to keep
report
McDaniel.
came out before the Dolphins played yesterday that McDaniel was safe for next year and Tua wasn't going to be there. And I just
Tua's definitely gone.
I was dumbfounded when I saw that report.
Yeah,
why are you even committing to that right now? You don't even it could get worse these last 2 weeks.
But again,
God.
Sorry, Dad, but poor.
I might be a Bears fan next year.
Hey man, if you don't have a horse in the race for this playoffs, I'll take you on over.
There's a lot of
I'm
good
open
stories.
for a Patriot Bears Super Bowl.
I think the Jaguars are going to be fun to root for. I'm
just glad that we got new teams. Obviously the Eagles have, I guess you could say they have a shot to make it back, but I think it's safe to say we're going to have 2 new Super Bowl teams, which is all I want if it's not going to be my team. And I've, off topic, but I have refrained from getting a Caleb jersey until we get our rivalry uniforms next year.
Oh, okay.
That is going to be my Caleb Williams jersey. I can't wait. We haven't had new uniforms in so long.
Yeah.
Oh,
I forgot you guys are getting those.
It's us in the AFC South, so AJ is going to be getting one too.
Yeah.
Colts uniforms. Yeah. That's going to be cool.
Well, that will wrap up the weekly pick'ems. Again, because of how early it is,
there's no bets available
Week
right
16 isn't even over right now, so week 17 bets aren't even up. So our bets of the week will be on our graphic like we did.
Our cut bet of the week, though.
Our cut, this one's groundbreaking.
Hear me out, guys. Broncos money line might be free this week.
Do you even know what the money line is?
I don't even know.
It doesn't matter.
I don't even know.
Doesn't matter.
Anyone's gonna
You probably lose money unless you bet $100.
Probably.
It should be that way with how dog shit this game is going to be, dude.
But no, like we said at the beginning of the show, happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Yes.
We are filming on Monday. Christmas is what? Thursday.
Thursday.
So we've got a
busy week.
Yeah.
Busy week.
I leave for
everyone.
Chicago later today.
Dylan's leaving for Chicago. He's going up there. But yes, enjoy your holidays. I would buy a Netflix account and watch Stranger Things instead of some of these football games. But you know what sucks though? It doesn't come out till 8:00.
Really?
Christmas night. So they're forcing us.
Sucks, man.
Forcing us to watch
Smart.
the NFL.
Oh, we only get to skip the Chiefs game. Jeez.
But yeah, so no, enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy Christmas.
Happy holidays.
However you guys.
Episode
Happy
70 in
Hanukkah. The last day of
Happy-
Hanukkah was yesterday. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Everything.
Whatever you
Is
celebrate.
there another holiday in December that I'm missing? Did I cover all 3?
I don't know.
Whatever you guys celebrate, enjoy it. Spend time with some family. Eat some good food. Hopefully you get what you want for Christmas.
Yes.
And
Dawson gets to open his Drake May rivalry.
Hell yeah!
He was
I
peeking under
was
that
shaking
tree
last
yesterday.
night for after that deep ball to Williams. I was like, oh fuck, where's that? Where's that? Which one is it in?
I
need it now. No, it was yes.
Okay, you'll have it for the playoff run.
I know that's what I'm saying. That's what I keep on telling myself. But no, Merry Christmas, however you celebrate, and we will see you guys next year.
I think so, yeah.
Next
Yeah.
year.
It's been real, guys.
Yeah.